It's time to enter the world of real estate in Oahu with Hawaii's only true real estate radio show, the Team Lally Real Estate Show. Grab a pen and get ready to take notes. For the next full hour, Hawaii's premier real estate leader, Adrienne Lally, and Attilio Leonardi will bring you the latest in real estate news and real-world strategies on how they can guarantee to sell your home at a price and deadline you agree to, or they'll buy it. Now, here are your hosts, Adrienne and Attilio.
Welcome to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. If you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596, or you can check us out on the web at teamlally.com. Now, today we actually have a special guest host, Ray Walmers from our team. He's our listing partner, and he's going to do the disclaimer.
Hello.
Welcome, Ray, and thank you for standing in for Attilio.
Thank you so much. The disclaimer is we are not legal professionals. We are not accountants. So please consult with a legal professional or an accountant or other professional services other than real estate, because we have a wide range of expertise. However, we are not licensed in those other fields.
Yes, seek your own professional results there. So I have some quotes to talk about that get sent to us every day from Duke Kim Han of Hawaii Pacific Property Management. So these quotes are, the first one is from the author Unknown. The best way to get over the past is to get on with the future. It's got to move on.
Just move on.
All right, and then this next one is from William Arthur Ward. Before you act, listen. Before you react, think. Before you spend, earn. Before you criticize, wait. Before you pray, forgive. And before you quit, try.
That's awesome.
There's a lot of powerful messages there.
Patience and getting tranquility and serenity before you act. It's awesome.
Yes, some words of wisdom. All right, and then the last one is from Stefan Chbosky. We accept the love we think that we deserve.
Absolutely, that's awesome.
Yes. So I know that, like Ray, you've done a lot of work with the PSI, and I think like some of these quotes reminds me of some of these lessons that we learn through the PSI training.
Absolutely, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 comes to mind. Before you act, count down from 5. Before making a major decision or jump into a reaction.
The 5-second rule.
The 5-second rule coming down. So if something pops in your head and you want to take a reaction or you want to make a quick decision, just pause, count down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then breathe and obviously make your decision from there. Not be too hasty or too jumping on it. So.
Yes, I had to kind of do a little bit of pausing and reflecting on my way down to the show today, as I ran over a pothole, and the tire just went out, and I said, "Oh, geez, all right, I'm just gonna keep going because it was a calculated risk, and thank goodness I made it." But we have the 5-second rule: pause, reflect, and then respond.
Get your woosah moment out.
Yes. All right. So later on in the show, after our first break, we have a professional success coach that's going to be joining us with all sorts of words of wisdom and tips for our listeners. So this is going to be a real special show. But before that, we've got Janice on the line. She's going to give us her tip of the week. Janice, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning. So what do you have for us this week, Janice?
Well, I was trying to do some research on the monster homes, but it's a little bit inconclusive.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, my recommendation is that everyone should always take into consideration getting building permits and being in compliance with the current building codes and the current zoning laws, even though they may be in some state of flux. As I have just learned, there are, we all know that there's consideration and concerns about the monster home law, but that's only interim, and it can only be interim because they're going to be doing some changes on the basic law that we have here in place to start with.
So, Janice, if you could just share with our listeners, what is this monster home law that we're referencing?
Basically, as you've probably seen and heard in the news, there's a lot of concern in certain areas. Some really, really large homes are going up, and sometimes people look at them and say, how on earth can that be only 50% lot coverage, which is basically how our residential zoning works right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, wow, that's really, really big. And in some cases, people have done things that have been altered after the building inspector leaves. In other cases, it's just the appearance of it. Like I saw one house that looked humongous, but it applied by all the setbacks and everything. But what you can't see from the street or from either neighbor's house is that the center is an open courtyard, so therefore it didn't exceed the lot coverage. But because of the quantity of large buildings that are being converted into illegal rental with multiple wet bars and insufficient parking, clogging up neighborhoods, etc., there is a definite concerted effort and a bill number 110 that is being reviewed in order to see what can be done to stem the tide of these, because many of them were actually built with building permits, so they appear to be legal. And what happens is after the building permit is closed by all inspections having been done, then alterations happen. And I can personally say that even though I've not designed anything or been asked to design anything of the size and description that has been, getting attention in the news, there are times when I've been asked to do an addition, and the building department has looked very carefully at how the two sections attached, and they would do things like require that the open space between the two not be the typical hallway width, so that someone couldn't just go stick a door there. They'd ask for something like an odd dimension, like 5 feet or 7 feet, to make it a really, really wide passageway, and keeping it an open space between the two sections. So even though the city has been making this effort, what you find out is that sometimes with a little creativity, or sometimes not so much, people are just closing things up and segregating them and renting out various portions. And then wet bars become full kitchens and multiple laundry rooms pop up. There was one in the newspaper that even had a coin-operated laundry on premise.
Oh, wow.
So it was definitely...
They really took it to a new level there.
Yeah. When we do permit checkup inspections for buyers of homes, it's amazing some of the things that we come across in properties that aren't even large, where things have been altered and been turned into multiple dwellings. So it happens a lot.
So these things, they can cause issues with, like, if you wanted to refinance or if you wanted to sell, then, you have to get up to code and have everything completely legal.
Major issue.
Yeah.
So, if you have something with, like we saw a house in Royal Summit once that had like 3 kitchens.
Oh.
So, obviously I cannot do an after-the-fact set of plans for you and get that permitted. So we're talking about demolition, putting things back to the way they should be. If the chosen finishes are nice tile or even not so nice tile, you're looking at the expense. It's one thing to say somebody's put up a wall to segregate a addition. You can take that down fairly easily, and if the flooring, was carpet, they can continue it. Sometimes it's harder to match other types of flooring, but tile, forget it. You have to, start over and make everything nice.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Janice,
Thank you,
for
Janice.
that excellent information. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. If any of our listeners want to get a hold of Janice for their permit checks, their after the fact permits, as long as you don't have a whole another illegal kitchen, she can help. She can do magic. But give her a call at 206-7107 or check her out online at dreamhousedrafting.com. All right, so we've got the mortgage genius on the line from Pacific Rim Mortgage, Jody.
Hi guys, how's it going?
It's going great. We've got Ray here standing in for Attilio. Attilio's on vacation.
Good morning,
But-
Jenny.
But the show must
Hey,
go
Ray. Yes, the show must go on. So I have a pretty interesting one to talk about today that definitely will attest to having a good loan lender and a good realtor. And it's two-pronged. One in that if you are purchasing a property or interested in purchasing a property that has PV that's leased, that monthly payment does factor into loan qualification. So if you're looking at a home and we've told you your max is $625, and it is $625, but then on top of that there's a $250 lease associated with, or lease expense associated with the PV, it's likely that you will not qualify unless you come in with a little bit more funds out of pocket or perhaps pay off a debt that you weren't planning on doing. So point being is that it will impact the qualification.
Well, that really kind of is confusing because you have this lease so that you don't have an electric bill,
Right.
But so if you didn't have the lease, you'd have a higher electric bill, but you would qualify for the loan.
Right. And so one of the interesting things is that when we are factoring in loan approvals and as per guidelines, we do not have to add in or consider that cost associated with electricity. So it's like, yes, I get it that you're going to save a lot of money, a ton of money, in fact, by having this $250. But the $250 we do have to introduce into the loan equation, whereas the electricity bill that you would have had, we didn't.
Yeah, it's not required.
Yes. So in real life, it's way better for you when you have that PV. But in the theoretics of it, it does impact the loan approval. So that's just something to keep in mind in terms of having a fluid communication between buyer, real estate agent, and lender, because, like when we work with our Team Lally agents, they're immediately telling us, FYI, this one has a PV lease, and then we're able to crunch those numbers and give a confident answer in terms of, this won't be impacted or this will be impacted.
Now, like with the PV leases, is that something that you as a lender need to review the actual lease in order to be able to, get the loan approved? Or is it, how?
It is. Because we just ran into one, and, there used to be, there's some sort of crazy statistic. Like at one point there was like 300 different companies, and then now we're down to like 6. But clearly that market has changed. The landscape of that market has changed heavily over even the past 30 months. But we just ran into one where it's $89 for the next 20 months, and then it skyrockets up to $300.
It's like a balloon payment, huh?
It's like a balloon, and so, but yet there's still 15 years on the lease, and so
Ouch.
it's this. They did this little baby 89 teaser for I think it was like the first 24 months, and then after that it ballooned into 300. So, we wouldn't have identified that or even been able to let our buyer know. That they were like, "What? That's not what we thought. We thought it was $89. That's changing the whole picture."
Yeah.
So
surprise.
that's just they would, as a lender, we require those documents because on so many levels. We need it for the qualification. We want to inform the buyer, and also we need to make sure that transfer converts properly. So earlier on, we had encountered some times where we were less involved. We got the documentation, so the loan was fine, but then we assumed that the other parties were handling the transfer of the lease. And then we got a call 3 months down the line, and they were like, they're telling us that our name's not on the lease. And so that obviously that lease transfer did not occur, didn't happen properly. It wasn't handled properly.
Yeah, those are some excellent tips.
Yeah, you don't want to own a house and actually have a lease that's not in your name for the house that you own for electricity.
Correct.
Or
Be
solar.
very messy.
Ouch.
Very messy. And it was after that incident that we were like, we need to be hands-on with it. So even though it wouldn't technically be our job per se, at the end of the day, our job is to make sure that the client is protected. And so we handle hold that. We're like, where are we in the process? Has it been done? Has the paperwork been turned in? And we kind of link up all the parties to make sure that we're all communicating.
And that's why we love Pacific Rim Mortgage. You guys just totally take ownership of it, right? And just, make it easy, right? We don't like to have the messy surprises with solar.
Right.
Ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Is that right? Ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Jody.
You're welcome.
All right, so if you want to give Jody and her team a call, you can reach them at 488-5510 or reach them online at pacrimmtg.com. All right, we've got Bradley Mariyama calling in from Allstate with his insurance tip of the week. Are you there, Brad? Hi.
Yeah, I'm here.
Morning, Bradley.
Good afternoon. Okay, tip of the week. I've been doing a lot of reviews, like I've said in the past, with a lot of clients. And there's a lot of owner-occupied homeowners policies that are on the books with our clients. And now these clients are renting out their home. And a lot of them are unaware that a landlord's policy or a tenant-occupied policy and a regular homeowners or owner-occupied policy are two different types of policies. And the main difference is the additional living expense for homeowners or owner-occupied versus a tenant-occupied or a property that's rented out that will give you rent loss insurance. So when you're working with a property manager like Duke Kim Han, he's going to require you to get what's called a landlord's fire policy that will give you rent loss insurance if there ever is a fire or water damage done to your home.
Now, Bradley, what is is there a big difference as far as the cost when you have a renter's policy versus a homeowner's policy?
So when it is tenant occupied or what's called landlord's policy, it is a little cheaper than your actual homeowner's owner-occupied policy.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting.
So, you could be saving money and having more coverage.
Yeah, and again, a lot of people are unaware. They just think a homeowner's policy is a homeowner's policy. So it's very important that when you are working with your property manager to let your insurance know that your property will now be rented out.
I've got a scenario, and it wasn't with one of our properties or one of Duke's properties. It was someone else. I guess their tenant drove the car through the front wall of the house. So is there insurance that would cover that kind of situation?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot here. Okay.
I'm just curious because she's like, I've got insurance and it covers it. I'm like, oh, I sure hope so. I mean, that's kind of a crazy situation. What the heck was your tenant doing?
Yeah, and also I did have a client who reversed into his own garage door, and we did cover the loss.
What about the house, the drywall of the house, not a garage door?
So the garage door wasn't completely out, and he took the whole garage door off.
Okay.
Just imagine what the people tuning in are thinking. They're probably like, what are they talking about? Run into their own house? This will rent a property.
The dangers of property ownership. But if you're properly insured, you have nothing to worry about, right?
That is correct. The reason why I thought you put me on the spot was I had a recent one where, I'll be honest, I did not know the answer, and it was a wife that hit husband's car, and it was not covered because it's their own vehicle. And that's why I was uncertain, but I did recall that we did recently cover a garage door that was hit by the owner of the house.
Well, I know that you've, like, over the many years of doing your insurance claims, you've seen a lot, but there's always going to be something new, right? And that's what keeps us growing and learning. These new scenarios, right?
So we get all different kinds of scenarios recently. So it's and if I don't have the answer, then I'll go and check with our claims advocate. So
and that's what we love about Bradley. Like he is like relentless. He will just continue to search until he finds the answer. And if he doesn't like the answer, he will continue to search and research until he gets to the bottom of it. So
yeah,
everyone needs an insurance agent like Bradley Maruyama.
Oh, thanks, Adrian.
All right. Thanks, Bradley.
Okay, thank you. Have a good week.
All right. So you can give Bradley a call at 591-8016 or check him out, his profile on allstate.com. Again, that's Bradley Maruyama. So I think we're ready for the body language tip of the week.
Hi, Adrian. Hi, Attilio. It's such a pleasure to be here. And this week, my tip is how you can tell if someone disagrees with what you've said. Now, this is really helpful because a lot of the times we're thinking something but not saying it out loud. Like, we want to be polite, we don't want to hurt feelings. But if you can tell if someone is disagreeing with you before they say anything, you're able to address that. You're able to see it coming. You're able to fix it before it becomes a problem. And here's one thing that people do when they disagree with you. And it's kind of hard to describe over the air, but I'm going to do my best. It's called a lip purse. And to kind of bring up the lip purse in you, I want you to imagine someone you despise, whether that's a politician, whether that's a school teacher, someone you just really dislike. And I want you to imagine me telling you that they're a wonderful person, that they're my favorite person in the world, that I like them so much. And if you're listening to this, you're probably feeling a slight tensing around your mouth. And with the lip purse, you end up pressing your lips together and tightening the muscles around your mouth. And so it looks kind of like you're squishing your mouth together, but you'll often see dimples around the outer edge of the mouth. And when you see that, that's a good way to know someone is disagreeing with whatever you just said.
Now, what if someone is doing like that Elvis look with the lip?
Oh,
what is
the
that
Elvis like kind of sneer?
Yeah, like that.
That's actually contempt.
Okay.
Yeah, that's even worse than disagreeing. That is outright, I hate what you said, or I'm feeling superior, I'm better than you. That is what that contempt look says. Anyway, so that is the tip of the week. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.
All right, so you can get more tips just like that by subscribing to the Body Language Boss. She has like a new video. She does Facebook Live, so check her out on Facebook or Instagram. Lots of helpful information.
She even has tips for dating, right?
All sorts of tips. She is just full of excellent information. So I think we're about to take a break.
Definitely about to take a break, so stay with us. When we come back, we'll be talking with Laura Noel of Stretch Into Success Coach Consulting, who will talk about what's necessary to unlock the true potential of his executives and employees, so stay tuned.
Hey, Honolulu, it's Gary LaVox of Rascal Flats. I'm moving on. When I'm Moving On won the award for ACM Song of the Year, it struck a chord with folks who understand the challenges that come with life's big changes. For many, that happens when it comes time to sell their home. If you're moving on, you want a real estate agent who will make selling your home easy and stress-free. An agent who's willing to let you out of the contract if you're not happy with their service. That's why in Honolulu, I can tell you that Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally market your home on a whole different level. In fact, Adrian and Attilio are so confident in their ability to sell your home quickly and for more money that they will guarantee to sell it or they will buy it. So, if you're moving on, trust Adrian and Attilio to provide your family a stress-free home sale experience. Find Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardi online at HawaiianCountryAgent.com or call them at 808-799-9596 and start packing.
Team Lally of Keller Williams Honolulu, RD21303.
Hi, it's Colin Coward. You've heard me say losers make excuses and champions find a way to win every time. If you need to sell your home right here in Honolulu, you've got real estate agents who operate in a whole different league. My friends, Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Keller Williams. Those guys make the selling process look easy because they sell 27 times more homes than the average agent and spend thousands of marketing dollars, attracting hundreds of buyers. Because of that, Adrian and Attilio guarantee that if they can't sell your home at a price and deadline you agreed to, they'll buy your home. They'll buy yours, no risk. And if at any point you're not happy, they'll let you fire them, and you're free to go. But that's not going to happen. There's only one phone call I would make. It would be to Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardi. Write the number down, 799-9596. 799-9596. Or online at guaranteedsale.com. That's guaranteedsale.com.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. To sell your home on time for the most money, you need a sharp agent with a marketing strategy that creates the most demand. Bottom line, you need a partner willing to put their own money on the line for you.
In Hawaii, I would hire Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardi. Their marketing strategy is so effective that if your home doesn't sell on terms you agreed to, Team Lally will buy it.
Partner with the team I trust. Go online or call and get your home sold.
The Team Lally Real Estate Show continues.
Give it to me, I'm worth it. Welcome back, and thanks for listening to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or We'll Buy It. I'm Adrian.
And I'm Ray Wolmers.
Yes, Ray is our guest co-host today.
I almost said Attilio.
All right, if you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out on the web at teamlally.com.
Awesome. And today's guest is a success coach who works enthusiastically with individuals, groups, companies to guide them into discovering and achieving their deepest goals and desires and reaching their potential and achieving their personal and professional goals.
She's been studying personal growth and development for more than 20 years, and she's thrilled to have turned her passion into a business that helps people live happier, healthier, and more abundant lives. So here today to tell us more about Stretch into Success Consulting, please welcome our guest, Laura Noel. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for being on our show. So Laura, just real quick, what we like to do before we jump into business is, kind of learn a little bit about you, and how did you get to Hawaii?
Oh gosh. So I just recently retired from the Air Force. Okay. I was in for just under 28 years. And
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I appreciate it. No, I've loved it. Honestly, I've had a great career. And so for 24 years, I've been waiting to get my dream assignment to Hawaii. And it finally happened. I was stationed in the Boston area. Mm-hmm. And in 2012 is when I came to Hawaii, and I was part of the Air Force Band of the Pacific. So I was a vocalist and band manager with that organization. So that's how I got here.
So have you always been a vocalist with the Air Force, or did you have different roles?
I had different roles. So the cool thing about the Air Force anyway, or the military, is you can have different mini careers in one long span of time. So I've done radar. I was in a musical entertainment group. I was in the band. I was honor guard. And then lastly, I was leading a leadership school.
Oh, cool. So how many different duty stations have you been to through your 28-year career?
Oh, my gosh. I think I can think of at least 6 off the top of my head. So back on CONUS, the continental U.S., on the mainland, and in Belgium and Japan and Korea. So I've had the opportunity to go all over the world.
So obviously Hawaii is your most favorite, isn't it?
Totally. I don't want to leave. I want to stay here forever. I do love it here. I really do.
So what? So you got here, you did your 4 years and then just retired. You're like, this is it.
I did. Yeah. And it's funny because, as I was studying personal development, one of the reasons why I went into personal development was really to find my purpose, because I just found that I was approaching 27 years, and I knew that 30 years was coming up really fast and that I would have to retire. So I was really just trying to find my purpose and what am I going to do after that. And so I landed into PSI seminars and started really working on myself and figuring out what my purpose is. And I found it. And here I am with success coaching, and I love it.
So that must be the connection, is the PSI. So I'm like, okay, how is Laura and Ray coming together? So
exactly.
Yeah. So could you tell us a little bit about the PSI seminars? Because I know it's very popular here in our islands. I know a lot of people have gotten some great.
Over 100,000 people in Hawaii have taken it, right?
Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a lot. For me, everybody goes to it for a different reason. For me, I felt like I was already very successful. I was happy. I was just looking for purpose. But when I went to the Psy Basic seminar, what I came out from it was a lot more than that. And I didn't really know that I had a strained relationship with myself. I just was achieving and doing wonderful things, but I was holding myself back and really limiting myself. And then just really the relationships in my life just took off from there as well. And my life has changed so dramatically since I've taken that seminar.
So you did like all this training with the Air Force,
right,
and also other personal development trainings, and then you found Psy, and it kind of just was that magical kind of thing that you needed to find your purpose.
Exactly. And actually, when I was at one of the advanced seminars, a gentleman by the name of Bob Proctor was there speaking, and I don't know what compelled me to get up in front of 400 or 500 people, but I did get up and I said, I have to retire. Like, listen to the language. Like, I'm hanging on to the last minute of the Air Force. I have to retire in 3 to 4 years, and I just can't seem to focus. How do you know when you found your purpose? And he just said, I think you would be really great at a program that we have, and I'd like you to give me your contact information after this. And I never looked back, and that's kind of how I was led to this path. So Psy was a huge part of it. I'm still involved with Psy seminars, but my life really changed. I did a 180.
So you've done this journey in the Air Force. You've gone through all the Psy training, and then now here you are doing your success coaching.
Right.
So maybe you could share with our listeners. I mean, it seems like you have a lot of different expertises that you coach on.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have a lot of leadership experience, of course, being in the military. And of course, through personal development, part of that is leading yourself. So I have a lot of leadership experience in that area as well. So I teach people on leadership. So I'll do, lunch and learns or corporate trainings. I also am black belt certified in Lean Six Sigma. So I can help businesses help lean out their processes and really cut out waste and defects in a process. A large part of the work that I do is really on an individual basis. It's people who are, they just feel stuck. They want more out of life. They want to reach a goal, or they have that goal that they keep trying for, going for year after year after year, and it just kind of avails them. And so they really want to figure out what's getting in their way. And that's what I specialize in, is that, people often know what to do to be successful in a certain area, but there's that knowing doing gap. They don't know. They know what to do. They're just not doing it. And so why is that?
So you're focusing on the execution of it and getting it done, as opposed to just thinking about it, knowing how to do it.
Right. Or finding out, what is standing in their way. What are the thoughts that are stopping them in their tracks, and really getting them in alignment with their goal.
What are the top 3 biggest things that stop people?
It's so different for everyone. It could be limiting beliefs about themselves. It could be beliefs that were passed down from generation to generation. So we have something in our mind called paradigms or programs. You might be familiar with that word, but it's just a multitude of habits that are stored in our subconscious mind. And so people have beliefs that have been passed down from generation to generation, like money doesn't grow on trees, or you could never do that, or nobody in our family has ever done that. You can't be an entrepreneur. It's too hard. So whatever these beliefs are, they tend to stick with us. And so definitely beliefs around money, beliefs around our capabilities, beliefs around what our families believe. Those are probably the 3 biggest ones.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you help people to get unstuck and kind of undo these limiting beliefs that they, for some reason, think are absolutely true.
Right. Yeah. And that's, and a lot of these beliefs that people have, some of them they're aware of, other ones they're not aware of. And so when we start working toward a goal, first of all, figuring out what that goal is. And most people, they set goals that they've set before. It's kind of like a checklist. They're checking things off the to-do list.
Like a resolution, right?
Right.
New Year's resolution.
They're talking about goals that they maybe can see, they know how to get and achieve. But I'm really trying to get people to focus on goals that they just want. It's from their wants and desires. And that's what's going to really get them out of bed in the morning. So those really big goals that are exciting and scary at the same time, and they have no idea how they're going to reach them. So that's a key component of it.
Now, if you're just tuning in, we're talking with Laura Noel. She is a success coach, and you can find her online at stretchintosuccess.com. Or is this number to reach out to, or is there a number? Okay, you can reach her at 603-689-5734. Now, like on your website, you like offer tips and additional like coaching that they can subscribe to?
Absolutely. Yeah. If people go onto my website, they can kind of cruise around there and see what I'm about and learn a little bit more about me. But they can also subscribe to my email list.
Okay.
And I'll send out weekly emails, tips, and things that'll help motivate them and kind of hopefully open their eyes and get them out of their own way with those little things that might be standing in their way. And then I also offer a free coaching session too. So they have the ability to sign up for that and reach out to me as well.
Okay, so you offer that first session for free where you kind of do like a needs analysis?
Yeah, exactly. So I find out kind of what they're looking to achieve, what are they currently working on, maybe if it's been something that they've been working on for a while, if they're kind of stagnant, what do they feel is standing in their way? And then I can kind of share a little bit of lesson material of what I think might be contributing to that. And then I'll, of course, share different coaching options. We'll see if it's a good fit and go from there. But definitely, I want to stay in touch for sure, regardless.
Awesome. And so now where are you moving when you move from here? You're going somewhere else?
I am. So the cool thing about what I do is I work with clients all over the mainland in Hawaii. So we're going back to New Hampshire in a few months. However, I'm looking to get a place here as well. So I want to come back and forth because I am working with businesses locally.
Especially when it gets cold.
Yes.
Because I know New Hampshire can be a very brutal winters. So
I am not shoveling the snow. I'm not going to do it.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. The other day, my mom had called me and she's like, "You just need to come home." I'm like, "No, Hawaii is my home. I'm not going to anywhere in the Northeast. I'm sorry. It's just not. I grew up there.
Yep.
I love Hawaii.
No, I do too. I really do.
So what's bringing you over to New Hampshire? Is it your husband's work or?
Yeah, so both my husband and I just retired from the military, and we have had a house that we've been renting out this whole time.
Oh, wow.
So we're very, very lucky. So we're going to go back to the house. Actually, the funny thing is we're going back the first 2 weeks of March, but I'm coming back to Hawaii because I'm like, I have business to finish. So I'll be back in May when it's warm. So that's what we're doing. So that's our other home there.
So tell us a little bit more about your Hawaii clients. Who is your ideal client that you're looking to work with?
Right. Anyone who is really looking to expand their awareness and learn and grow. People who are already successful in doing what they're doing, they're kind of now creating the same thing over and over again, and they just want something different. And it can be anybody that I have clients who are just getting really super fit, like the best shape in their lives. I have people that want to start a business, another person writing a book. So it really is other people that are looking for other sources of income. It really doesn't matter what the goal is. It's the process is the same for each.
I'm reading through your expertise, and I see here motivating millennials.
Ooh.
Tell me more about that.
The M&M.
You know what? A lot of it is just listening, and I can be a mirror for people. And it really doesn't matter whether it's a millennial or somebody who's not a millennial like me. It's really just about listening and finding out what makes them tick and being that mirror and listening. I like the body language tips, like just really listening for those key words or those things that they keep saying. So I can kind of be like, okay, is this what you mean? And I can be that mirror. Sometimes we have blind spots, and obviously they're blind spots for a reason. We can't see them. So when you have somebody else that's mirroring you and coaching you, and just that awareness is enough sometimes to move you forward.
Now, Laura, do you have maybe some recent success stories or examples of different types of clients that you've been able to work with, and where did they start, and then where were you able to take them to?
Okay, sure. I definitely have one client who was I don't want to give too much because I want to, I want to respect their privacy. However, there was a client who was working in a particular industry and she was training people, and she discovered that what she loved about her job was not the training in and of itself. It was more of establishing a culture of teamwork and helping. And she decided to create a business based on that. And in a very, very short amount of time, when she started aligning her goals and her wants and her vision and her why, and then started moving forward, and then started figuring out, well, what's standing in my way? Instead of just thinking about it, let's move through it and do something about it. She was able to expand her network of people with like 15% just within a few months, and her income increased a lot within that 3-month period of time. I have another person who she just wanted to get in the best shape of her life. She was hitting 40, and she's like, I have never had abs, and it's just one of those things. I keep exercising and doing things on my own. I think I'm doing it right, and I'm going to do it this time. And, you know, by the end of the 6 months, actually before that, she was really, really happy and showing pictures on Facebook. So, yeah, that was really exciting for her.
So you're able to coach her into getting abs.
Nice.
I can't take her to the gym and do it, but it's the mindset part that I can help her with. Absolutely.
That's pretty amazing.
Getting the clarity and the focus and the determination and removing those obstacles that stopped them from doing it in the past, huh?
Right. You know, I mean, like take the gym example. I mean, she can hire a coach, but if she doesn't do what she's being told to do, she has all the tools at her disposal to, so she knows what to do. So I'm dealing with that knowing doing gap. All right. Now let's take what you're learning and actually implement it, and what's standing in your way, what's keeping you from implementing it.
So, okay. So who's been like the most off the wall or interesting person that you've coached? Or, I mean, you don't have to like give their name, but maybe their situation.
Gosh, everyone's so different. I've got people who are looking to find their purpose. And actually, I'll just give myself as an example. When I started learning this material and learning how to facilitate it, because I take people through a process, I was looking for my purpose, and I was planning on retiring in 3 to 4 years. And I ended up really diving into what it is that I want. What do I want to create? Not necessarily setting goals like I used to that was based on logic or what I've done in the past or what's the next incremental step. And so that really opened me up. So within 3 months, I retired and not 3 years. And I created a business. And that's why I'm so passionate about this. It's because I didn't think it was possible. And it was only me that was standing in my way.
So I didn't realize the Air Force would let you do that. So 3 months as opposed to 3 years.
Yeah.
They let you out of the contract, or you just had some kind of...
I was retirement eligible.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different. You have to apply for retirement. But I applied, and I was gone, and I loved my career, but I just knew that this was my path now. And so I didn't want to just stick around for another 3 or 4 years. I was ready. I knew what I wanted to do. And I've never felt that knowingness, that surety, that just knowing what my purpose is. That was huge for me.
You've done a ton of things. I know you were running marathons as well, in addition to all the other black belt and...
Oh, gosh. I mean, that was back in the day. Yeah.
So you've definitely determined, and you're definitely a strong athlete.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because that type of goal, the marathons and things like that, I had so many seemingly big goals, and I'm happy that I'd done it and did 4 years ago, the half Ironman, but I was so busy doing so many things, and it's so awesome to be able to focus on just one really huge goal. And that was that career shift and finding my passion, as opposed to just staying busy doing all these different things. I didn't really have the focus before. I was enjoying myself. However, now I just feel a lot more focused.
Sounds like you love what you're doing now.
I love what I'm doing. I really do.
That's amazing.
And you help your clients to get focused on their one thing.
Right.
Have you ever read the book, The One Thing?
I have read the book, The One Thing. So it's funny because those things that stand in our way, those paradigms, those beliefs, they don't ever really go away. You just know how to deal with them. And so you replace them with other beliefs that are going to be in more alignment with what your goal is. And so one of my paradigms and beliefs is to be super busy. Yeah, I want to go cliff jumping and do this and start a business and go, I don't know, travel around the world and at the same time. So somebody recommended that book, The One Thing, because
Don't mistake movement with achievement. It comes to mind, right? Bold law.
Yes.
Yeah.
We think that we're really, accomplishing something, but we're really just being busy.
Right. It feels different. I was being busy as opposed to standing in my purpose. It feels a lot different. And that book, The One Thing, is really phenomenal because that I listened to the audiobook and got the condensed version because, just focusing on that one thing, it really helped as well.
Yeah, our team reads books together, and that is one of the books that we read together every year. We always come back to it because it's so easy to just drift. And, you're just start doing things. I mean, I know I'm guilty of it.
Yep.
Just kind of all over the place and want to just keep busy. Right. But you got to, go back to that one thing. Like, what's your purpose? So, I mean, we've got Laura here, who's a success coach, successfully helping her clients to stay focused on their purpose, on their one thing to get the results that they want. So, okay. So, Laura, before we bring our show to an end, is there any last words of wisdom that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Absolutely. Just a couple of tips that I would love to see you implement in your life. And it's sometimes we get so focused on our current results and things that maybe we would like to be better. And we let our current results impact the decisions we're making for the future. So we're making decisions based on our current results. And so if we keep doing that, we're going to keep recreating the same thing over and over again. So just a tip is write a paragraph on a situation that you would like that you'd like to see improve that maybe isn't going the way you'd currently like it to be. And write it in all its glory and detail and ugliness. And then write that same situation the way you want it to be.
Okay.
And then focus all of your attention every day repeating it. Maybe record it into your phone, write it every day, just make it a habit because you're not serving yourself by focusing on what you don't want. When you focus your energy and intention on what you do want, that's when you're going to start to see solutions bubble up. Maybe you're going for a run or a walk and then you start having ideas, or you're in the grocery store and you hear somebody in line say something and it's the exact thing that you need. It's like when you focus on what you want to create as opposed to what you don't want, that's when things really start to open up. And that's
you'll attract that into your life.
You will. Absolutely.
The energy.
Yep.
It just will come to you.
Yes.
Either whether it's positive or negative. That's why you say to focus on that.
Right.
What you want.
And that's why, what I teach is thinking into results. It's, you're thinking into your results all the time. If you don't like your results, trace it back to your thoughts, because I guarantee you're thinking thoughts that are in alignment with the results that you're currently getting. If you want something different, you've got to change the thoughts.
Yep. It all starts up here.
It does.
All right. Thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
And if any of our listeners, again, want to get a hold of Laura, you can check out her website, stretchintosuccess.com. You can give her a call at 603-689-5734. And I think we've got Brooks on the line.
Hello, Brooks.
Hi, you guys. I just wanted to let you know that I had abs when I was 17 years old.
Anything? Well, I think anything's possible, Brooks. I'm rooting for you.
Good. Okay, sounds good. All right, well, I've got some incoming listings, some coming soon listings, and several of them. I won't go into the many that we have. I'll just highlight three. One in, it's upper lower Makakilo. It's not upper Makakilo, but upper lower Makakilo. It's beautiful on Nohopa'a Street, a single-family home. Beautiful, great views, nice corner lot, updated with added living square footage, and he even has an au pair suite.
Ooh.
Au pair.
That sounds fancy.
You know about au pairs,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Right, Adrian?
I do.
And then the second one in Tuscany, in Eva Beach. Actually, it's a Okay, I couldn't read the notes. Sorry. Rare 4-bedroom single-family home in Tuscany. And then another one conveniently near, there's 2. There you go. Another one conveniently near a new mall, all the amenities of Eva by Gentry. So that's another one. And then one in Haleiwa. Okay, so now we're on the other side of the island. A great home with lots of potential to build your dream home. A gated community, gated home with beautiful lot, very close to the beach. So that's the income. That's the coming soon listings I have for this week. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Brooks. Very exciting stuff there, because especially with this low inventory market that we're in. Yeah, we gotta stay on top of these things, right?
Exactly. And this is we've got a lot more.
There's a lot more.
All your time.
Yes.
If someone wants to find out more of these coming soon listings, where would they go, Adrian?
They can go to, they can call our buyer hotline at 234-4421, and any one of our awesome buyer agents can help get them that list of coming soon properties.
So if they're not finding the home that they want on the market and they wanted someone to proactively find that home,
that would be us. That's 234-4421. All of our buyer agents, they're like super hungry, and they will turn over rocks and knock on doors and make calls. They're very motivated to help our clients.
Awesome.
All right, speaking of awesome and motivated buyer agents, we've got Kimberly on the line to share with us some open houses that are happening over this weekend.
Hi, Kimberly.
Yes, hi, you guys.
Hello.
Hey, okay, so we have 4 great open houses spread throughout the whole island,
Mm-hmm.
one of which we have Saturday. Mike is going to be the buyer agent there. It's going to be in Kapolei, Iole, at 91-1036 Mahakauku Street. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. We will have 2 open houses on Sunday between 2 and 5 p.m. These are in Mililani, and there's one in Kalihi. Kevin is going to be at the Mililani, 95802 Wakau Street, R205. And Kalihi is going to be at 3531 Kalihi Street, Honolulu, and Kalihi Valley. And that's between 2 and 5 p.m. Lastly, we do have another in our last open house Sunday between 3 to 6 p.m. in Pearl Ridge, and it's at 98-1032 Moanalua Road, Unit 3206. So please, you guys, make sure to, be sure to check out our website, teamlaliopenhouse.com, if you have any questions or you need to know more about the specifics, or you can call the hotline at 234-4421.
All right, thank you, Kimberly. That's
awesome.
Sounds like it's going to be a busy weekend for our team.
Very much.
There's going to be a lot of red signs out there directing people to the open houses. So again, you can give the buyer hotline a call at 234-4421 to get directions to the open houses, information about coming soon listings, any other questions that you might have about the market, or check out the website at teamlaliopenhouse.com for pictures, video, and additional info. All right, so I think we're coming to an end here on our show. So thank you for listening, and thank you to our sponsors.
Jody Tanga and Derek Tanga from Pacific Rim Mortgage.
Bradley Mariama of Allstate Insurance.
Nathan Baker from Pillar to Post Home Inspections.
Ben and Tony Mahmood of AAA Roofers Hawaii.
Janice Maryland from Dream House Drafting.
John Speed of Kilauea Pest Control.
Duke Kim Han from Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Mike Metz of Kama'aina Plumbing.
And Myron Kamahara from Kamahara Law. If you want to get a hold of any of our sponsors, just go to teamlolly.com.
We also want to give a big thank you to Leah, our producer here in the studio, and our in-studio guest, too, Laura. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
That's you. You're doing a chee-hoo.
I'm doing a chee-hoo now. Chee-hoo! No pressure.
Make sure to tune in next week. We'll have an awesome guest talking about something that'll change your life
forever. This is the Team Lolly Real Estate Show and home of the Guaranteed Sold program.
If we can't sell your home at the agreed upon price in our time frame, we'll have it bought for cash.
Awesome.
Thanks and aloha.
Aloha.